Spoilers for this movie Hellhole, leave if you don't want them. This movie opens up with a priest putting a baby on an altar in a church and going to stab it. Before he's able to do so, we notice that this baby has like a unique scar on its chest. And cops come in just in the nick of time and shoot the priest and save the baby. Fast forward 30 years, this dude, Father Mark, shows up to a sanatorium where he meets the prior who is the leader of the sanatorium. And it basically serves as a place where women who are thought to be possessed are brought in for exorcisms. Mark is brought to his room where he opens a secret compartment in a bag where he has a gun and newspaper clippings about these women who have gone missing. He also takes off his robe to expose a scar on his chest, so he is the baby from the opening. So we're basically immediately suspicious of him. Weird supernatural shit starts happening basically immediately. Crosses are inverting, all that good stuff. The next day, Mark goes to witness this exorcism, and during it, the bed shakes, the cross sets on fire, and Mark goes back to the room after the exorcism and actually discovers that all the effects were staged. He's also served these weird, gross, really questionable meals that start making him sick. A few days after the exorcism, Mark sees some of the other priests bringing out the girl's body and burying her. We got this other dude, Peter, who's the vice prior, who I also can't find a picture of. And he warns Mark to be careful because they're both being closely watched. Because Mark obviously is growing suspicious of what's happening here. Mark reveals to Peter that he is actually an undercover cop investigating the disappearances of a bunch of local women. So again, weird shit keeps happening to Mark. He's like vomiting up flies and shit. And he decides to go dig up the grave of the girl that he thought they buried, only to find that it is empty. And one of the other priests catches him and knocks him unconscious. So he wakes up tied to his bed, surrounded by the priests, and they force feed him this weird meat that we've been seeing them eat. He ends up escaping, and when he gets to the kitchen, he sees this big pot. And the meat in the pot is very questionable. And then he opens a door to find a bunch of dead bodies hanging from meat hooks. And it's the bodies of all the local women that have gone missing. And it's what he's been eating. So during this, Peter finds him and is like, all right, let me explain to you what's going on. So he explains that everybody in the sanatorium thinks that Mark is the chosen one. He was a baby born during an eclipse. And basically, he would be involved in this ritual where he had to consume the flesh of 7 humans and drink the blood of an innocent. And after that, he would turn into a demon and bring in this like new world order. So that's why that priest tried to kill him in the beginning as a baby. So Peter's like, all right, Mark, we gotta get you out of here. Come on, I got away. But alas, Peter's a fucking snake and he betrays him. And he was in on it the whole time, and the priests come and capture Mark. So he wakes up surrounded by all these cloaked priests. And the prior's like, yeah, we've all waited 800 years for you. And the reason that the sanatorium is here is because it's built on top of this well that is a portal to hell, hence the title Hellhole. And they all wish to be the devil's servants. So naturally, they then bring in this young girl and slit her throat and force Mark to drink her blood. So they finish the ritual and nothing happens. They were wrong. So naturally now they kill Mark and throw him down the well anyway. The prior's upset because he was wrong. So he gets drunk, and then Peter comes to check on him and fucking murders him, therefore making Peter the new prior. But the next morning when he goes to address the priest, we see Mark wake up at the bottom of the well and transform into a fucking demon. Peter levitates and bursts into a cloud of flies, and then this fucking thing comes out. And it levitates the priests and inverts them into these crosses, and then the sky splits open, bringing in the New World Order. Honestly, the ending was metal as fuck.